Welcome back. This is Olufemi. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today I have a special guest with us. This is my youngest daughter. She turned 21 today. Now, in our household, she's legal. The reason why I said that is if you remember in one of my earlier videos, I talked about some of the things that worked for us that God helped us with. And I remember I mentioned the fact that my auntie had told me, meaning that an inanimate object cannot be wiser than something that has life in it. So the way I'll tie that to this is when our kids were younger, we told them that because you're from Nigeria, and I talked about that also in another video, that wherever your dad is from is where you're from. And since their dad is from Nigeria, then they are Nigerians, and mostly everything about Nigeria applied to them. Applied to them. In other words, when they turned 18, even though they were raised in America, they were born in America, it did not apply to them. Why? Because they are Nigerians. So when they turned 21 was when we recognized them as adults in the house. Korisola is now officially an adult.
Ooh.
And the reason why I brought her along today is to ask her questions. That's one of the questions that, how do you feel I meant to say about the fact that even though in America you're recognized as an adult, but in this household you're not recognized as an adult. So I brought her on so we can get her opinion about things like that. So Korisola, what do you think? I would like to get your opinion about that.
I think at first it was a little weird because when I turned 18, I didn't necessarily feel like an adult, but I had friends that were claiming to be adults. They did adult things, and I felt like, okay, I'm the same age as you, yet my parents still kind of see me as a child. But now that I'm 21, I do definitely value that part of the culture. I think that America kind of pushes adulthood onto teenagers and kids, which turns out to be detrimental in a lot of cases. And over the years, as I've matured and gotten stronger and smarter, definitely I realized that at 18 I was nowhere near where I am now, and I definitely feel a lot more equipped to be an adult now compared to when I was 18.
Wow, that's powerful. And I've never asked this question of her, so it's interesting that this is how she felt, but we never talked about it because, again, that was one of the laid down rules in this house. And I also talk about that being an adult. Because, and honestly, one of the reasons, not the only reason why I got the nudging or I felt like I wanted to talk about these things in the series is I have a lot of friends, of course, that I grew up with in Nigeria, and we're all here in America, or be it Canada, or be it the UK, that are struggling with whether we birthed them in these countries or we raised them a little bit in Nigeria and then we migrated to these countries. And our kids adopt these hard facts rules about the country they're in, and now they turn around and throw it in our faces. A good example is, okay, at 18 in America, you're an adult, but you're still in college, and your parents are paying your way through college, and you're supposed to do certain things, but then you tell your parents, and then I'm an adult, I'm not gonna do that, or I'm an adult, I can do this. I have a problem with that personally, because if I'm paying your school fees, you can't come and tell me I'm an adult. Then if you're an adult, you can pay your school fees. That's the way I see it, period. No discussions about it. So I think that, again, some of these things are some of, that we as parents also, we need to pay attention to. I say some things about the spirit of America. And some people might say, what do you mean the spirit of America? This is a good example of the spirit of America, where a child at 18 will turn around and tell the parent, I'm an adult, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. But you're not an adult in the real sense of it if you're still under your parents' roof and they're still paying your way through things. Okay, maybe in that household you were raised to be an adult at 18 on paper, but honestly, logically, here, you're not there yet. So I want to encourage us that yes, we may say at 18 they're adults, but let's break it down for them. I don't think it's right for a child to turn around and say, oh, I can do this because I'm an adult. That parent, you need to take a step back and let them know, yes, on paper you're an adult, but certain things you're not an adult. If you want to be an adult, then you can pay your way through school. That is my take. What worked for me may not work for you.
Yeah, and honestly, even at 18, that's barely graduating high school for most people in America. And high school doesn't prepare you for adulthood the way that college does. And so I think definitely by the time you finish college, you can classify yourself as an adult, but 18, just, there's no way.
Well, thank you for coming along, Coruscella. And by the way, Coruscella is graduating college in a month.
Yay!
Thank you for coming along with us this week. Today we talked about the legal age in America being 18 versus the legal age in Nigeria being 21, and the fact that in our household, we raise our kids to be adults at the age of 21. Let me know in the comment section what age you use as your legal age. Is it the American, the Canadian, the UK age, legal age, or the African legal age? I'm not sure what it is in Kenya, Ghana, Cameroon, but in Nigeria, it's 21. Thank you for coming along today. Please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and please share. Thank you.
See you next week.
See you. God bless you.